Hello all of you. Now today's topic is, again it is a freehand, it is circlips and oil seals. The next practice sheet is on circlips and oil seals. They are two different topics, they are not related to each other at all. Only we have combined them. Circlips is a type of machine element, just like nut bolts, pins. Circlips are the parts which are used for the purpose of assembly. And oil seals are also some such parts, just like bearings, etc. They are used in machines. So we are going to learn how they are made up of, what they do, what is their function, how they are constructed, and then we are also going to learn how to draw the figures by freehand. So we will begin with the topic on circlips. So as you see here, circlips, that is the name of the part, and then you can see some drawings of the circlip are shown here. Now these circlips are of two types, internal circlips and external circlips. So as you can see here, these are external circlips. Now what is a circlip? First of all, let us try to understand. So here, let me just show it to you here. Suppose there is a shaft like this. And on this shaft we are going to fit a gear. So I am now going to draw a gear like this. So it is a gear which is to be fitted on the shaft. Now when you fit it on the shaft, there can be a keyway here, which all of you know how it is done. Now this gear will have a tendency to move here and there, which we don't want to happen. So there should be some step here. Now ideally what happens? There is a step here, that means the diameter here is more, like this, so that because of this step the gear will automatically come and touch here, so that it will not move in this direction. For preventing the movement in this direction, there can be some arrangement here which can be made, or there can be a like this, there can be one washer fitted here, and then here there is a nut bolt fitted with the help of a small screw. You can fit the washer here or a spacer here, so that the gear will not move in this direction because of this bolting, and it will not move in this direction because of the step. This is one way of doing, but sometimes it is not possible to do any such things, in which case what do we do? So I am again going to draw the shaft, but this time the shaft doesn't have any step like this. There is no such step here, and in such condition we are going to fit a gear here like this. And this gear we don't want to move here and there. So now what is done here is, on this shaft here a small groove is made. So I am going to draw a groove here. On the shaft. Now this is same groove. So a small cutout is made like this. Now what is going to happen because of this groove? In this groove we are going to fit one part which is called as a circlip. So when you fit a circlip here, the circlip will look like this. Now I have drawn a circlip cross section. So now the circlip is put in this position, in this groove. So the thickness of the circlip, this is the thickness of the circlip. This thickness is same as the thickness of the groove that is made. And the diameter of the circlip, this outside diameter of the circlip, is larger than the diameter of the shaft, so that this is working something like a step. So what this step was doing, same thing now this circlip is doing. So this gear cannot move in this direction. Maybe similarly you can put one more circlip on this side. So there is one more groove here, and in this groove you are fitting one more circlip on this side also. So as a result, now the shaft is now the gear is remaining in one position, and it will not move in this direction at all. Okay, so this part is called as a circlip. Now how this circlip looks, that is what now we will see here. Now this circlip what I have shown here, if this is the diameter of the shaft, I have drawn a shaft, then the circlip, once it is fitted, then it is somewhere here. I have not drawn full circlip, but this is going to be the size of the circlip. This is the outside diameter of the circlip, and this is the inside diameter of the circlip. Inside diameter is touching to the groove here, and the outside diameter is going outside the diameter of the shaft, so that it will work as a step. Now for this to happen, what should happen is, this circlip is first of all, before it is mounted here, I will now draw only circlip. So the circlip looks like this. This is how the circlip is. Now suppose this is the diameter D. Suppose this is diameter D. Then this diameter, inside diameter is less than D, slightly less than D. Okay, and this diameter is more than D. Now what happens? There are just these two extensions are there at the end, and there are small pinholes are there. Now there is one plier available. So with the help of plier, the two ends of the plier go inside this, and you are going to open this circlip out like this. So once you open this circlip out, this inside diameter D, this inside diameter is less than D, that becomes more than D. So once this diameter is increased, you can put this circlip outside outside the diameter. You can move this circlip forward, and once it reaches to the groove, you have to remove the plier. There is one plier here. So plier is a tool with the help of which you can open this circlip. So once this circlip reaches in this groove, the plier is removed, so that the circlip, it is like a spring, so again it gets compressed. So once it gets compressed, it sits into this groove, and now once it is sitting into the groove, now what happens? It will not move here and there, and its outer diameter, this is outer diameter, it is going to prevent the disc or gear, whatever you fit here, that will be now prevented from moving in this direction. Now having seen all this, now let's see how it is done. So as you see here, this is the circlip that is shown, which is what we have just now discussed. So this unexpanded circlip, unexpanded means before it is assembled. So you can see certain dimensions are shown here. There is a extension here with a hole. This is the thickness of the circlip, and this is expanded for assembly. As I said earlier, these two ends are going away from each other with the help of a plier, so that it is expanded, and once you expand it, you can pass it on to the groove. So you can see here, there is a shaft shown. Now this shaft has got one groove here. There is a slightly smaller diameter here, and then this circlip comes and sits here. So once it sits here, then it works like a stopper. So certain information written here, certain sizes are here. So how is the end of the circlip? Then certain dimensions are also there. They are mentioned here, but you can maybe mention the same ones. So what is the dimension of this opening here? What are the small holes? What is the size of this hole going to be? So all the details are shown here. Now this is a standard seating, and in some cases this groove is given some inclination, slight taper is given according to the direction of the load. Okay, so that is slightly beyond your scope. So at the moment you can just draw it as it is. So what is to be noted here is external circlips, how they are fitted on the shaft. This is the way circlip is shown. The basic circlip unexpanded, circlip it is expanded for assembly, and then the circlip is to be fitted on the standard shaft, but the assembly of the circlip on the shaft is not shown in anywhere. Just the shaft is shown separate and the circlip is shown separate, and this is called as the external circlip. Now something similar to external circlip, there is internal circlip. Now internal circlips are different. They look like this, and they have got similar extensions here, and they are also having holes here. Now what this kind of circlip does? Now look here where it is assembled. So as you can see here, this is a hole. Now in this hole, you are going to fit the circlip inside. So if I will explain from here, it will come like this. So like a shaft, suppose there is a hole. So I'll show it like this. So this is some kind of a frame, and in this frame there is a hole, and in this hole, let's say we are going to fit some part. Say we are going to fit one bearing here. So this part is like a disc. Now this you have to fit here. Now this disc again will move here and there because this diameter is constant everywhere. So ideally what should happen is there should be a step in the hole. That means this hole should be like this. So when the hole is like this, now this bearing can go and sit here. It cannot move further because of the step here. But if the step is not there, then in that case what do we do? So I am now drawing a figure like this, where there is no step, the diameter is straight, and now there is nobody to stop this part, it can move here and there. Now under this condition here, there is a groove cut inside the hole. Now this is exactly opposite of the shaft. Last time we have seen a groove cut on the shaft. Now there is a groove cut in the hole like this. And now what is happening? The internal circle which is there, that circle we are moving inside and it sits here. So I have now drawn the internal circle which is sitting into this groove. Now how do you put this internal circle? First of all, let us see how the circle is made up of. So now you can see here, this is the internal circlip. It has also got similar holes. So with the help of a plier, now you can see here uncompressed. Earlier it was unexpanded. You can see here unexpanded. Now this is uncompressed. That means now we are going to compress it. So what happens is, once you compress this, that means with the help of a plier, you are bringing these two ends together, near to each other. So as a result, this outside diameter will reduce. And once the diameter reduces, you can put this inside. You can put the circle inside, and once it reaches here, then you can remove the plier so that it will again expand and it will sit into this groove. Once it sits into the groove, it will work like a stopper, like a step. Okay, so they are shown here uncompressed internal circlip, compressed internal circlip for assembly, and after you compress, this is the place where it is fitted. So you can see this is the frame. In the frame there is a hole, and in the hole there is a small step cut here like this, and in this small step which is there, the circlip will go and sit here. So once that is done, the assembly is formed. So again similar thing, all the information is written there which you have to copy as it is. So basically you are supposed to understand a part that is called as a circlip, how circlip works, how it looks, what are the two types, external circlip and internal circlip, how it is fitted. That is what we have described in this particular session. Now let's see the next part, that is oil seals. Next part is oil seal. Now we are going to learn what is called as oil seals, and for that purpose let us see what is the function of a oil seal. What is the oil seal? Now sometimes there is a situation where there is a shaft like this. Okay. Now this shaft is rotating and it is fitted in something where, suppose there is a frame. So the shaft is supported in this frame at this diameter and it is rotating, and on this side there is some liquid, and on this side there is no liquid, and you are supposed to prevent this liquid from coming out from here. See, first of all, you will see that because the shaft has to rotate, there has to be a clearance here. You cannot fit it tightly. If it is very tight, then it will not rotate. So you will keep some clearance here. The moment you keep clearance here, what will happen is the oil will leak from here. So you want to achieve both the things. You don't want the oil to leak, and at the same time you want it to be tight enough so that oil will not leak, and it should be free enough so that it will rotate also. Now under this condition, what is done is at this place here, at this place oil seals are fitted. Now when you fit oil seal, what happens? Because of oil seal, the leakage will be prevented, oil will not go out, one thing, and second thing is the whatever arrangement you make here is such that it will not create any friction and shaft will be still able to rotate. Okay, so what is this arrangement here? That is what will be now seen. Okay, so now what is drawn here is a oil seal. Now what oil seal is drawn here? Three types of oil seals are drawn: type A, type B and type C. And what is shown here is only one side. So if you see this part, as I said earlier, the oil seal that is fitted here, suppose I fit oil seal here, suppose this is oil seal, this full part is like a ring which is oil seal. Okay, because of the section it is seen here and here. Okay, but it is something like a disc. Now this oil seal in the figure is showing only this much. Only half side of the oil seal is shown. This half is there, but it is not shown in the drawing. So now if you look here, this is only one side shown. Somewhere here there is a center line, and then same thing is there on the other side. Okay. So you can say this is a half section of the oil seal. Now how it works? Now if you see this closely, you will find that here there is a rubber body. Whatever is shown by cross hatching. This cross hatching means this part is like a rubber which is there. Then here you can see L-shaped part. Now this is like a cup. It's circular. Remember, this is center line, so this is only a section. So when you rotate this section along this axis, then what will happen? That is the full part. Okay. So it is only section that is shown here. So the first thing is there is a rubber body like this. Then in the rubber body there is a metal strip which is put here. So you can see this kind of a cover, which is a shell, it is called as. So this shell is fitted here. Now because of this metal shell, the rubber body has got certain strength, because otherwise the rubber body doesn't have any strength, it is a rubber. So to give the strength to the rubber, inside there is a lining of a shell. So metal shell is put inside the rubber, so that together it becomes a strong object. Now this is a hanging part. This is a hanging part, and you can see whatever is shown here is a spring. Now spring means it is a cross section of a spring. So the spring is there all over. It is just surrounding this hole. So the spring is fitted across the entire circle. Remember, I am again repeating, there is a cross section. There is a cross section, and in the cross section the spring is also cut. So the spring looks like this, and there is a corner here. Now I will draw this figure again here to explain to you how it works. So the oil seal looks like this, what you already seen. This is a spring. Now this spring is fitted into this kind of a shape of a rubber. I draw the same figure again for you. This is shown like this cross edging. I am not taking a lot of care for drawing this because the main objective is to explain to you how it works. Okay. Now this is a metal strip or shell. Now this metal shell is providing a strength to this outside body. Okay. There is a spring here. Here is a spring, and now where is the shaft? Now I am going to draw the shaft over here. So in fact I will draw it again. Now this corner which is there, right now the corner is shown here because there is no shaft. The moment this assembly is fitted with the shaft, what happens is this end is getting pressed because the shaft has come. So now I have drawn a shaft. This is a shaft. Okay, this is the axis, and this whole thing is there on the other side also. Everything is there on the other side. So now what happens? This before the shaft, when the shaft was not there, this oil seal was having a corner here. Now because the shaft has come, this corner gets pressed and the shape of the corner becomes blunt. So this is how the shape becomes, and it is possible because it is rubber. Now what happens? The rubber is pressing on the shaft. This shaft is rotating. It is rotating like this, and this is pressing, and at the same time the spring which is at the background, behind is a spring, so the spring is also applying a pressure. So because of this pressure, the rubber is firmly pressed on the surface of the shaft. Now when this happens, what happens is, suppose there is oil on this side, this oil cannot move in this direction because the rubber seal is firmly pressing, it is firmly pressing on the surface of the shaft. So oil cannot leak from here. At the same time, it is a rubber, it is not a metal. So because of rubber, it is not going to cause a lot of friction, and this can still rotate. The shaft can still rotate. So the rotation of the shaft also takes place, and the leakage is also prevented because of this kind of a oil seal. So how this oil seal works? Because of the spring which applies a pressure, and the tip of the oil seal gets pressed, and that also exerts a pressure, and as a result the oil leakage is prevented. And now the strength of the seal is improved by this kind of a metal shell. So this is one type, it is called the type A. There is some other design in which the strip is not here, the strip is from the outside. So the strip is on this side. This is another design. So you can now see the figure. So now if you see here, this is what